Everyone who says the US committed 9/11 is absolutely right. You might be saying, how could our country kill over 2,000 people and destroy major government buildings? Well, that's exactly what we did on September 11th, 1973 in Chile. See, it was like a trick. I made you think it was the other one. It was this one, but your mind's gonna be blown. If you go to Chile and bring up 9/11, a Chilean might say, 9/11? You mean when the CIA helped overthrow our democratically elected leader and put in Pinochet, a notoriously brutal dictator? This is no conspiracy theory. This is declassified docs. You know how if your friend gets drunk and pees himself, it's not okay to bring it up until a few months later? It's been 40 years since the government was drunk with power, and now they're like, all right, here's what I did in Chile in 1973. Shut up, Becky.
Tell me them juicy deets.
Our story starts in 1964. Socialist Salvador Allende was climbing to power, trying to become the president of Chile. Problem, CIA don't like socialist presidents. So the CIA, terrified of communism, spent $23 million in today's money against Allende to buy the Chilean election. Chile had around 8 million people back then. That's around $3 a vote. To give you an idea, Donald Trump spent around $5 per vote in this election. If it's not clear what I'm saying, the CIA should be spending $0 per vote. This was huge voter manipulation, and it worked. Allende's opponent, Eduardo Frei, won big time. US corporations took over Chile's copper resources, and then the CIA spent plenty of money in the form of aid and credit, helping the new US-friendly government. The CIA wanted Chile to prosper, but only on our terms. Kind of like your parents will help you with your cell phone bill if you're studying to become a doctor, but if you're trying to become a comedian, they're like, why don't you just pay your own bill and eat peanut butter and jelly for every meal? That's what my mom says. The CIA also spent money on its very own propaganda newspaper, El Mercurio, which pretty much existed just to shit on Allende and other socialists. They'd be like if Canada was funding Breitbart. Canada's probably funding Beaver News or something. Despite the CIA's best efforts, Chileans liked Allende, and they elected him in 1970. The US officials were pissed, mainly because it was 1970, and a move toward socialism did not go well with disco. Redistribute the wealth, redistribute the wealth. Nixon, then president of the USA, wanted to overthrow Allende, a democratically elected president. That's a bit of a goo. But as Nixon once said regarding Watergate, when the president does it, that means it's not illegal, which turned out to be true for messing with Chile's government, but totally not true for recording phone calls in hotel rooms of Democrats. Yeah. At Nixon's urging, the CIA came up with 2 long-term plans, Track 1 and Track 2. Really not the best names for plans. Maybe like Plan Cool Lasers. I don't know, something interesting. If you're gonna mess with people's governments, you know, spice it up. Track 1 was fake news articles, destroying Chile's economic credibility, the political version of refusing to like whatever Chile posts on Facebook. Or in Nixon's words, let's make the economy scream, I'm Richard Nixon, Millhouse. The US crippled Chile's economy using its vast international influence. Allende looked bad, but a homegrown coup still didn't appear imminent. So, Track 2 began. And Track 2 was about hanging out with the Chilean military, hooking them up with jets, and then bullying them like a terrible father manipulating his son. Hey, remember when I bought you that drone? Can you get me your teacher's phone number? She's pretty hot. Except by phone number, he meant kill the democratically elected president. Boom. So the coup was a brewing. The military attacked the Chilean White House, called La Moneda. Bombs dropped from the air, setting the palace on fire. Machine guns rained bullets. Every radio station supporting Allende was taken over. When the dust finally cleared, deaths were recorded between 2,000 and 10,000, including Allende. Now, some say he killed himself, others say he fought to the last possible second. It's hard to know, but in the USA, copper futures, basically stocks, went up, meaning the CIA was finally getting what it wanted. On September 11th, 1973, Chile was changed forever. Much like in the USA, everything is pre and post 9/11. Much like in terms of eating Doritos covered in cheese, everything is pre and post 7/11. 9/11. Is it really appropriate to make a Dorito joke there? Pinochet took over and consolidated power. He became the brutal leader he's known for being. And him and his shit-talking agency, DINA, didn't just kill people, they tortured people in brutal ways. Ways that would make waterboarding seem like a fun summer activity. Tying people to metal frames and electrocuting their genitals. It's important to mention that some Chileans disagree on whether or not he was good for the country. As a Cuban, we hate our past dictator. We have toilet paper with Castro's face on it. Yeah, we pooped on Castro's face. My Chilean uncle has a framed picture of Pinochet in his home. When I asked him why he liked Pinochet, he said, sure, he killed a lot of people, but those were the bad people. Is my uncle determining who the bad people are? Worth noting that it's probably easier to run a country when the CIA isn't making its economy scream anymore. Look, nothing's black and white, except the picture my uncle has of Pinochet in his foyer. One thing is for sure, the US did commit a 9/11. I'm Deity Vega, and this is Mind Blown. Blow my mind. Mind blown. Blow. That's cocaine. I hope it blew your mind. Tell me what blows your mind in the comments. I'll check it out.